Modern human beings are very busy with their daily lives. They work, eat, drink, overtake others, cheat others, scoff, beat and exploit, and in some countries they kill each other. Earthlings live like this. What they most interest is to eat, doing work, to ease, to make more money, to take a higher position than others, to satisfy lust and libido, etc. There are a lot of people who are not participating in such dirty competition, but looking around the world, you will find that almost the modern mankind are like this. They have little interest about spiritual things. If someone say, cleanse your heart, or be humble and give your way, they will say, I choose to eat it first. In other words, they terribly fear to lose job, or to live on low wages, and others are outdone, and the other people go well. And such a person despises the loser. But they should despise the tyrants. They should not blame good people who do not have money or status. In this way, the adults and parents teach to their children to compete with other people. And their children teach to their children to compete with others, and it continues again and again. And they completely forget why they were born in this world. In other words, they are in a sleeping state. However, in recent years, the above situation still continues, but many people are interested in spirituality. There are many people who are interested in ESP and former life, spirits and aliens. And at the world level, more people oppose the war, and if there were disasters abroad, rescuers from other countries could come running. Nevertheless, our society is violently. They don't believe about the existence of spirit and aliens perfectly. Besides, there are no people who know the mechanism of reincarnation. If you read Edgar Cayce's reading, you will have some knowledge. I will tell the mechanism below. When a man dies, he go up to the spirit world and live. But that is not a so-called heaven. Many people misunderstand this. The spiritual world is one dimension, and from that point, the human spirit don't returns to the earth directly, but he goes to another dimension and live. In this way, he repeat reincarnation in different dimensions, for instance, 4-dimension or 1-dimension, 5-dimension, 8-dimension, etc., and he will be reborn into the earth of 3-dimension. And he will live on the earth. And after the life on earth he will go to the spirit world and repeat it. However, they not simply repeating incarnations like this. This ring of reincarnation is not eternal. If a man kills a person on the earth, he will fall to the dimension of hell and suffer. This is not a concept. It is a fact. On the contrary, if he acquire the heart of affection, he can rise to the upper dimension and live a life of bliss. In this way, reincarnation exists to have men heart of affection. Especially in this the earth, people are tested to be so. However, the mechanism is not simple. Even if he have compassion, some people cannot go up at once, and even if he climb up, he must climb the upper dimension further. For example, if you are climbing a severe cliff and have a pleasant break, but you find more upper cliff there is, and you discouraged that here is not at the top, but there still exists a certain peak to be a goal. We only have to aim for it for the time being. In this way, incarnation is necessary to hone oneself, but if it is obstructed. In other words, what if you try to reincarnate on the earth, but what if you cannot reincarnate? You will not be able to graduate earth forever. You must repeat school of same grade. And, if you repeat same grade, time of painful life will be longer. In fact, in the future era, bad people will not be born again on the earth. For example, it's suppose in a school, there is a bad group. Because of them, other students were also inspired. Some joined the bad group. Some have stopped being a good boy or girl. The good old child as it was before became only to a very few number. Fewer children who can graduate. Then the principal thought, it is not good that mix bad guys with good boys. Initially, he expected to mix them and bad sensitized to good and they will be rehabilitate, but in fact in the past, there were some bad graduated like that, but now the effect is hopeful. Nevertheless, they have repeatedly retention age. Then let us cut off the bad and normal students. Especially the bad guys, will isolate them in other classrooms. In this way, the students will graduate one after another. Like this, the bad guys are locked out of the earth, and for a certain period they will not be able to be born again to the earth. It is God's deed to do that, but physically, it is what mankind must do together. Since that methodology will be told to the world in the future, mankind must do it. First of all, mankind will learn the reasoning of incarnation. Like some contemporary Christianity, some religion denying reincarnation, but it will be topple over. In the first place, it will become clear that Jesus did not deny incarnation, and people begin to find that men make children not merely as a result of sex, and not fetus naturally occurring. You will understand that the soul dive into in the fetus. Then people will be want a child like an angel rather than a soul who was a violent murderer in a previous life as their son or daughter. So, the methodology to do so, the technique, will be presented, and every human being will use that technique in each country. As a result, men who have done bad things in the previous life cannot be born to the earth. You will say that it is easy not to born again in the earth, but that is not easy. Because evil people must surely be born again on the earth. Then, what kind of inconvenience is there? Being delay in incarnation? If they are late, next stage of them will be a time as evil people come back to all at once. They must reborn in such age. In other words, all over the place covered former bad guys. And in such a world people do not care for each other. You do not have compassion to others, neither you nor mercy from others. Also, since they do not respect spirituality, even if they know the meaning of incarnation, they do not believe it. They will live lives captured by money, things and sex of this world. And, as they repeated such incarnations, eventually it will rush into the era of destruction. So, in this world, you do not compromise the bad guys. Become the existence of compassionately, and you have to survive the present age. If you do so, you can be reborn into the earth in the hereafter, or you can climb the dimension above.